Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the draft order result video for the 2025 season of the Fall Football Frenzy group. My name is Dylan, obviously, and I will be your host for the evening. First things first, just quick congratulations to Drew for winning last year. Big time title for him. And as we go into year 17, hopefully we don't have any new winners that join the championship leaders, but we'll just keep it status quo and get another Broncos fan victory. So without further ado, we have our reveal. What I did for the draft process this year was a little different. I brought a list of our names into work, and I had all of my coworkers rank our names. So the criteria they were given was basically whatever they wanted to do, whether it was based on the name they liked the most to least, if they knew people that had the names, that altered how they ranked people. But basically that was the best way I saw this year for us to choose our order. So as you'll see, and I'll explain it more as we go because it is a little further away and I can drag the camera back and forth. But I have the order, so the names that they like the most ended up with the first pick, and the names they like the least ended up with the 12th pick. I averaged out the order or the rankings that everyone had at work, and that was the list that was compiled. I will say, for those of you that think I may have rigged it, I did change my name, and I will be able to show the results if you want. I changed my name in the list to Tyler. I tried to also pick a very white name, so it didn't really stand out amongst our group. And if you came near the bottom of the list, I will say that there are a couple females that I work with that had exes that had those names or had bad experience with guys with those names. So it's nothing against you, it's just that they had bad experiences. So without further ado, I will announce who has each pick and what their average rating was. You will see some discrepancies. The person that ended up with the first pick was by far the most popular name. I think they had 5 or 6 people that put them first. And it ranged all the way from 3.7 average score to an 8.7 average score. So, with the 12th pick in this year's draft, with a score of 8.7, we have Jason. So, unfortunately, Jason, 3 girls had exes named Jason. Didn't end well for that relationship, and you unfortunately were the innocent bystander in that one. With the 11th pick in our draft with a score of 8.2, Jesse. Jesse, I think there was 1 or 2 girls, but the big thing that went against you was we have a customer named Jesse that's kind of a dickhead, and that kind of unfortunately hurt your standing. The 10th pick in the draft with a 7.9 average is myself. The name Tyler did not go as planned as I was hoping. People thought Tyler was a little bit of a bland name, I guess. So it didn't turn out too well for me, but at the end of the day, we have to find a way to kind of hamper me because of how good I am, so I get it. With the 9th pick, average score of 7.7, we have Anthony Labello. Surprisingly, / not surprisingly, I put Anthony L and Anthony B on the list for people to vote. When they asked what the L and B stood for, I told them we have a coworker named Blake, and that kind of won over a little bit. With the 8th pick, with an average score of 7 in the rankings, was Tim. I had some input that someone said, well, if they went by Timothy, it would have been higher. So just maybe something to think about, Tim, going forward. But no hate on that. With the 7th pick, with a score of 6.7, we have Anthony Blake. Kind of already touched this on the Anthony. I think 7's a pretty good pick this year. Don't have as much to choose from, but I'm just hoping that this man survived the first day of school today, and he won't be too tired. Next pick, the 6th pick, with an average score of 6.6, which is a lot of 6s on one page, was Jim. Jim, people said, thank goodness you go by Jim. If there was James on the board, or Jimmy, it would have been down further, so good on you to go with that. With the 5th pick in the draft, with an average ranking of 6.5, we have Brandon. Not a lot of 2-syllable names, I guess, in the group, but kind of indifferent on people on you. You were right in the middle, very consistent the whole time. So it's a good spot to be in. Especially this year, I feel like a lot of people don't know what to do with the top 4 picks from what I've been seeing. So I think you're going to be in a good spot there. So now we have our top 4. At 4th, with a score of 5.9, we have Connor. We do have a coworker named Connor. People like Connor. He's a good worker. So I think that played heavily in Connor's favor here. Good luck with that pick. So now we're down to our top 3. We have Joe, Drew, and Otto as our top 3 in some order. I don't remember, and I don't want to peek because I don't want to give anything away. So with the 3rd pick in our draft, with an average score of 4.8, we have Drew. Drew, coming off the championship win last year, gets a good pick in this draft. People like the name Drew. That was the feedback I got. So obviously the top 3 people really enjoyed the name. There wasn't a lot of variance in the voting for Drew. He was typically, I think the lowest person that voted for him was either a 6 or a 7. Just happened that the person that came in first, like I said earlier, had a majority of the first place votes. So without further ado, we have our final 2. If I can get a drum roll from you guys, I'm afraid of knocking down the board, so I won't give you a drum roll myself. But with 4.3 as their average ranking, we have, with the number 2 pick, Joe. And I know what you guys are saying. Joe, what a kind of common name. People like Joes. I mean, what can you say? You can have a cup of Joe. A lot of famous people named Joe. I'm kind of blanking on them, but I'm sure there are. But Joe finished with the number 2 pick. So that means with an average score of 3.7, the first pick in the draft this year will go to Otto. Otto, I think, benefited a lot from having a very uncommon name compared to the rest of us. The big overarching message I got is, wow, what a lot of basic white people names. So Otto's name obviously kind of stood out a little bit there, I think. But a lot of first place votes kind of carried Otto up the board. I think he was pretty much locked into first when I asked the last 2 people to vote, and one voted for him first and the other one voted for him second. So this is going to be our draft order. Run through it again real quick. Otto first, Joe second, Drew third, Connor 4th, Brandon 5th, Jim 6th, Anthony Blake 7th, Tim 8th, Anthony Labello 9th, myself 10th, Jesse 11th, Jason 12th. That's pretty much all I have. If you guys want to stick around for a little bit, I can show you my newest apartment. I just moved in here pretty recently, and none of you guys have seen this one. I'm still in the Carolinas, but I'll show you around real quick. So I have my own apartment now. Nice little kitchen. I need to do some cleaning, obviously. But we have a nice little living room / dining room area. I have my balcony. I live on the 3rd floor. Bedroom. I do not make my bed. There's no point. Unless I'm having a lady over. And then a little hallway that leads into the bathroom. Nice double mirror, or single sink, but a big ass mirror, I should say. Throne and shower. And that leads us back out. I know you guys are enthralled with this part, so I'm happy to show you guys all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put us down again real quick. So as I believe I mentioned earlier, year 17 this year. I wish everyone the best of luck. I'm thinking next year I had a good idea and I want to say it in here so we remember for next year. I'm thinking we kind of do like a Survivor kind of to figure out the draft order, where I will have everyone send me their rankings individually, and I'll get like a pot or something and I'll pull everyone's names out like they do on Survivor. It could be a stupid idea, but it is what it is. I'm running out of ideas a little bit. But yeah, year 17, a couple more years, we'll be at 20. I know we've talked in the past about all getting together and doing a live draft for a big one, and I think that gives us enough time to plan for that 20th one, and we can do a live, figure out the draft order, go right into the draft together. So just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind, as I know we're all going to be getting older and have families and stuff. So if I get it on your schedule now, we should be good to go. But again, good luck to everyone this year. I hope everyone is getting on, doing well, and I look forward to seeing you guys all in the Zoom. Thanks, guys.